Hey, Sarah, what will be, will be. We're on our way to Wembley. Aston Villa are returning to Wembley. Hello, everybody. It's been a while since I did this. Not really been able to do it recently because Villa haven't played at all for a while. And on top of that, I was going to do it in the last hour, but it turns out that went on BBC 5 Live. Had a fantastic chat there, talking all about Aston Villa's win today against Preston. So, Preston 0, Aston Villa 3. We're on our way to Wembley. It could not have gone any better, really, could it? Okay, firstly, let's just talk about the game quickly before we talk about our dreams of the FA Cup. And also, I'm going to keep this short because I do want to watch Bournemouth, Manchester City, which kicks off in a minute. Preston. I think they started the game very well. 5 at the back. They had the 2 in midfield who came in, they were deep, and it just made it difficult for Villa to sort of break them down. And then I guess on the break, they were hoping that maybe they could get a ball out wide to Robbie Brady, who cut in on his left and hit a ball to the back post, and something might come from it. I think the game plan worked quite well for, a large portion of the game. Fair play to them. They defended really well. And I think they pressed very well at times as well. But you could just feel like when Villa were getting into that final third, it was just then Villa just needed something to come off from one of the wide players, from one of them fullbacks going forward, Dean or Cash. In that first half, every time we tried to put a ball into the box, it wouldn't get past the first man, or we tried something like pulling it back, it wouldn't work. It just all wasn't quite there. But then in that second half, you saw that Champions League quality with that goal. My goodness. To start the move off, Marco Asensio gets it. He's going one way, turns the other, sends Preston that way back to North End, sends them to South End. And then he turns in, lovely ball in to, I think it was, I can't even remember now. Was it Ramsey? Went into, anyway, makes its way to, it was Ramsey. Ramsey into Luca Dean. Dean pulls it back to Rashford. His positioning is really good. And Rashford's first time finish, class. I went mad at that goal. Just mad. I was jumping around the room like a complete maniac. Please do like, please do subscribe, please do leave your comments here as well. Subscribe. It really helps us keep on growing. It keeps you alert with when these shows go out as well. But when Rashford scored, it was the relief because obviously, Preston for 60 minutes, you sort of thought they're defending well enough here that maybe they'll get a breakaway and something happens. We go away going, we've really blown it this year. But no, Aston Villa showed what they're capable of. Brilliant move. Great finish from Rashford. And I was jumping around the room, not only in relief at Villa scoring that goal, not only in relief that thought we might be going to Wembley and winning the bloody FA Cup, but also on top of that, Rashford getting his goal. Aston Villa are now going into a real acid test of an end to the season. It is game after game after game as we go for Champions League glory, as we go for FA Cup glory, and as we try and get top 4, top 5 in the Premier League. Now, Rashford getting that goal comes at a crucial moment because all the question mark, look, if you've watched Rashford at Aston Villa, you would know that he's played brilliantly for us so far, or he's had lots of brilliant games for us. His assist numbers are really, really good. His movement's been really good. His incisive passing's been really good. He looks like the Rashford that we all sort of know he can be. But kind of in the last sort of... but what you would say is that there'd be pundits who don't really watch Villa regularly who'd be going, well, he hasn't scored a goal yet. So to just get rid of that, get that goal out the way, and it means now that he's got that goal at the exact right time as we go into this run-in. And I think there's plenty more goals to come. And, Man United beat PSG a few years ago when nobody expected it. And Marcus Rashford was the man who scored the winner at PSG with a penalty. Dare to dream. PSG are going to be the toughest team you can face in Europe this season. I genuinely believe they're the best team in Europe right now. But Unai Emery's a manager who gets things done. He wins things. And when we're the underdog, sometimes that's, with Unai Emery, that's when he really comes out, shows his best. So fantastic. Rashford getting that. And then from there, Villa just asserted themselves, didn't they? And you could feel that second goal was coming. Ramsey should have put one away from a Rashford pass. Then it comes to Rodgers. It's a good block on the line. And then from there, eventually, Rodgers gets fouled in the penalty area. It was a penalty. I think Preston fans would say it was soft. And that's fair enough. I think Preston had a lot go against them with the referees. I thought there were a few decisions that sort of see why they were getting frustrated. But I think that I do think that was a penalty, though you could argue it looked soft, but it's trod on him. It's a pen, and Rashford, he has to wait for it. He's got the goalkeeper talking in his ear. No problem, puts it away, and that's one of his key skills, isn't it? It's one of his key skills. Sorry, I have to take a water there because I was yelling so loud during that game. When he put that away again, I was jumping around the room because again. Those Wembley arches, I still think of the Wembley Towers in my head, even though they're not there. And the Wembley Arch, the Wembley Way, and all that came into view. And then from there, Villa took control, and along came the third goal. Barely even remember it now. Yeah, Jacob Ramsey takes it, just runs through the Preston team. That's Ramsey at his best, isn't it? Just turning, charging, and whacking one away. And again, he gets a goal at a good time as well for his confidence. So, all round, a brilliant day at a team where they haven't lost at home in a long time. They've got a lot of injuries, so they're obviously not going to be at their best. But a team that is still, atmosphere's loud and proud. And if it's Aston Villa of that we know and don't love, the Aston Villa that we used to in my entire life, there's every chance Villa go there today, just as we did at places like Doncaster back in the day, just like we did at various teams in the past where the chance is on to do something in the FA Cup, and then you go to Preston, you lose 1-0, you lose 2-0, and you come away going, we're just a team that cannot get the job done. We just can't get it done. Instead, the atmosphere was loud, it was noisy, there were balloons on the bloody pitch, 1 million of them. God only knows how that happened. Debris everywhere, the opposition team are up for it. But the Villa fans were so loud. We kept that atmosphere going. And I think that experience of big games this season, of going away to Brugge, places like that, horrible away day, going away to Leipzig, all those experiences, this is when it counts. And having players that we signed in January like a Rashford, like an Asensio, top Champions League players who've won it, been there and won things, it makes a big difference. And my man of the match, I mean, you could say Marcus Rashford. I think he probably deserves it. I actually think it was Kamara because in that first 20 minutes when Preston are at their most energetic and really could have caught Villa cold, Kamara was constantly disrupting Preston's play over and over and over again, reading the game, getting in the way, preventing Preston from even starting a move. It was apologies for the coffee. I've got a quite dry throat here. It was absolutely outstanding, and he's a world-class player, Kamara. He just is. It's very easy to use the word world-class for lots of players, and you'd think maybe it gets overused at times. But I look at Kamara and I think that's a man who could play for Real Madrid. He's just. He looks like he should be a French international starter. He could play for anyone in the world, and he would get in the team. His intelligence on the ball as well. His intelligence in reading the game. He's an absolutely unbelievable player. Anyway, yeah, it looks like I'm back. I think Villa now going to Wembley. Crystal Palace is who we've drawn. So a lot of Villa fan groups, WhatsApp groups that I'm in were very, there was one or two people a bit negative about Palace. Yes, they've had our number in recent times. Oliver Glasner has had it over Emery recently. And they're going to be really hard to play against. But I'll put it like this. If we have a full strength Villa, if we have our full squad, Aston Villa have players who have done it on the big occasion. As a collective, we have performed in the Champions League this season, right? We've beaten Bayern Munich. We know what it takes to win big games when the pressure's on. And on top of that, We have players like Marcus Rashford, Marco Asensio, Emi Martinez, Yuri Tielemans. All of these players have been there and won it. They've all won things. We have a coach who's won things. We have players who I think are made for the big occasion. I've said all season, I think we look like a cup team. I've been saying all season, I think the FA Cup's on, particularly with big teams dropping out of it quite early. And so Palace, they are going to be really difficult. They have a fantastic. I do love Palace. I think they're. I love the fact that they're kind of an underdog team who are performing to the level that they're performing. I love Selhurst Park's a great stadium. Glasner's doing an amazing job. Mateta, Eze, Wharton are brilliant. And I think actually for me, the player that I think is the most dangerous, because you would say the most dangerous player in space will be Eze. You know, Wembley, big old pitch, big arena. Eze is a player who, with all that space, is going to cause problems. But I actually think in space, Wharton is the player that Villa are going to have to deal with quickly, because he's the man who can dictate the game. And if we don't get to grips with him, that's when I think Villa will run into problems seriously. But if you can find a way to deal with him, if you have a Nana, maybe Kamara next to each other, and the job is stop Wharton, and when support is needed for Cash out on the right to deal with Eze, get out there and support him. Double up on that. And then whoever's in the middle, that's your job to deal with Mateta. But I feel like Kamara and Onana, if they play together, they're going to be crucial to stopping Wharton and to coming over and doubling up on Eze. And if we can do that and take them out of the game, Villa have a real chance at this. And I think, as I say, with players who've been there and done it, Emi Martinez has won the FA Cup. Yuri Tielemans scored the winner in an FA Cup. We have players like Morgan Rogers who are made for the big occasion, who, again, have turned up in the Champions League. So all that Champions League experience for all these players who maybe haven't won things with Villa or won things at other clubs, you have to say that those Champions League games will count for something. And so that's why I think no matter who Villa play at Wembley, I fancy it. I fancy us to beat anyone. If it had been Man City, if it had been Forest or Palace or Bournemouth, any of them, bring them on. I can't wait. I absolutely can't wait for it. And it's going to be tough, Palace, but we can do it. And look, it's another win now, and it starts us off because now this is it. We're into the final straight of the season, and when you look at that finish line, the gold medals are right. They're waiting for us, and we've not won something in a long time. And you look at Newcastle in the Carabao Cup final, and you look at their fans, you look at how absolutely euphoric they were. You look at the fans in the city centre when they celebrated with the open-top bus parade. We have to look at that, and we have to say, that's what it's about. That's what we've got to do. We've got to win the FA Cup. We have to win something. And I feel like we're early in the Unai Emery era. 2029 he's signed on till. And these are early days in the Unai Emery era. Success has to keep on coming. And I feel like if we can get that FA Cup win, if we can win a trophy, we got over the hoodoo of getting into the top four. We broke that, which was something it felt like we were never going to break. We've got that. We've experienced the Champions League now. These are all laying the foundations for Aston Villa to then go on and become a team that isn't just there or thereabouts, but a team that goes on and win things. And that is absolutely crucial. Cannot wait. Absolutely cannot wait for Wembley. And I'm probably going to be begging someone for a ticket. So if you're out there and you might have a spare, I will do whatever it takes. I will take my top off, ruin everybody's view, walk backwards up Mount Everest, up Mount Everest. I'll jump in one of Elon Musk's rockets that tend to blow up and risk that if it means that I can, get to Wembley. Whatever it is, I will take it. Anyway, look, as I say, I do want to watch City Bournemouth. So let's just get through some comments here. Flange, good to see you again, Flange. Big old supporter of the channel and the podcast. Thank you so much. Boom, boom, boom. Wembley, here we come, baby. You're damn right. Wembley, here we come. Because when we beat Tottenham, I looked at the FA Cup then and saw that a lot of the bigger clubs had gone out. And I thought, this is on this season. And Villa looked like a cup team. We looked like a team built for the big occasion. The fact we got to Wembley now, Bring it on. Bring it on. This is the big occasion. This is what it's about. Sammy Frankie made the dogs jump. LOL. Yeah, with the cheering. Yeah, my cat ran away into the other room. He hasn't forgiven me. He's sleeping now. Seeking, new to the channel, I think. I don't think I've seen you before. Seeking Night, welcome. Please like and subscribe, everybody. Please leave comments. I always knew Emery would come good. You're damn right. You're very intelligent. Humanoid Seeking. Percy Clark, good to see you again, Percy. Great timing for Rashford to get the 2 goals. Absolutely. Just as I said before, just as we're going into this run-in now, those 2 goals, get that form, get that goal-scoring touch back, go on and score important goals for the Villa. Come on. I was only joking when I said about Emery the other week. You're damn right. PSG have weaknesses. They do. Every team has weaknesses. And Unai Emery's the coach who can find them. We could have won by 5 or 6. Yeah. I think Preston did really well to have the shape they did. Heckingbottom's an intelligent manager. I think, but in the end, the difference between the Championship and the Premier League is quite vast now. And Villa showed what they're about, particularly that first goal. It was a brilliant goal. That was a Champions League level goal. Tricky one in theory. It was. Preston don't lose at home, and I think unluckily for them, they did have a lot of injuries. Kessler Hayden obviously couldn't play against Villa because he's one of our own. We were fortunate in that way that we weren't playing their full strength team, but by the same token, we had to go there and get the job done. We did. They're about to hit form. Yeah, look at our recent form since the end of January. It's really good, actually. We had that bad loss at Palace, but outside of that, we've won a lot of games recently. Flange again. If we can get into Europe again this season, I can see us selling Ali to the arse and us buying Marco because of Marco. Let's see, shall we? Yeah. I am theorising about that in my head. Were a bid to come in for Watkins, would it then be used as money that Villa used to try and get Rashford and Asensio in? Maybe another striker as backup, say Jonathan David, who's going on a free from Lille, or various strikers. I think with Watkins, you don't know what you got till it's gone. I think we'd really miss him. But if that bid were to come in for 29-year-olds, that was really hefty. I think there's a world in which it could happen. Sorry, I may have missed a comment. Kamara again for me, brilliant today. It says Decky. Yeah, agree with you. Good to see you again, Decky. Yeah. As I said, I think Kamara was man of the match for me, actually. I thought he was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. First 20 minutes, it was crucial to do what he did because you couldn't let Preston work their way into the game, build confidence and work and move and get a goal. And for him to keep disrupting the play, and then when he disrupts it, he doesn't just sort of belt it away. He gets it and he makes an intelligent pass. He's an absolutely world-class CDM. He is. He was everywhere today. Absolutely decky he was. Melty, good to see you again, Melty. I assume the balloons were there for Arnie's slot. Yeah, they were. I think it was on the off chance he might be there. He was in a 100-mile radius, so we were all like, well, Arnie's slot's there. He's in a 100-mile radius. Get the balloons out. Get the fireworks. Get the ticker tape parade. Get everything. Everyone enjoyed that. Michelle Maynard, good to see you again. Celebrating the Villa's big win. Good to see you, Michelle. Yeah, big old win. Chris Kelly, Kay, Sarah, we're going to Wembley. You to Villa, 2 Cups 2025. Every week we follow the boys in claret and blue. They even conquered Europe in 2025. That is going to be the lyric at the end of this season. I'm booking tickets to Munich. Why not? Get out of the way, PSG. Jude Bellingham and Real Madrid, go sit in a darkened room, shed a tear because it's Villa who's going to be on their way to Wembley. Good to see you, Danny. 4 clean sheets to Villa. Yes. Good to see you. Good. Thanks for the comment again, Danny. Yeah. Again, it's sort of because I've been so stressed out watching Villa this season and constantly think that we just concede all the time. It's easy to forget that suddenly in recent times, in the last 10 games, our form's actually really good suddenly. And yeah, clean sheets, they're racking up suddenly. And if the clean sheets keep coming, if the results keep coming, on top of that, we now look like we have a full squad at last. Because for 2 bloody years, all we've heard is poor old Tottenham with all their injuries, poor old Man United with all their injuries, poor old Arsenal with all their injuries. All while Aston Villa have had 2 straight years of injury crises. It's unbelievable. Every single bloody week, it's like another injury. So for Villa now, in this crucial running with all the games they've got coming, another one on Wednesday away at Brighton and then Forest at home on Saturday. To have a full squad available of real quality of players who can make a difference, it's crucial. It's crucial. And yeah, got to share a bevy with you, Frankie, pre-semi-final if I manage to get tickets. Yeah, same. I'd love to meet up with you, meet up with everybody. It'd be brilliant. Wembley's what it's about. I've been there once before for the playoff final, and it's just special. It's just special, isn't it? It's just you've hit the big time when you're there. Richie Ryan, the depth is the key to this team. Great results today. Comfortable win without expending too much energy today. I will enjoy the win. Back to business on Wednesday. Yeah, agree with you, Richie. Thanks for the comment again. Please like, please subscribe. Yes, brilliant result. And as you say, depth is key. It really makes a difference at this stage of the season. It really does. Mings and Concert Partnership equals clean sheets. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. We've been keeping clean sheets. Brentford, 1-0 away. Massive win that was. Clean sheet. Brugge in the Champions League, and another clean sheet. There's been a couple of probably a couple I'm just sort of forgetting off the top of my head. Now I will leave it there. It's a short and sweet one today, but thanks so much for your comments. Thank you so much. And Aston Villa, we're on our way to Wembley. Champions League, Premier League, top 4, top 5. It's all there. It's all tantalisingly close. Dare to dream that what Newcastle fans got to experience recently, Aston Villa fans can have that soon as well. Why not? Up the mighty Villa.